This is a Coachman Olympia 524. It's going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, you've got your hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these in person to you here on site. Front locker, you've got your gas regulator on the bulkhead and your gas pipe work coming down. It's a reverse thread fitment going into the gas bottle itself. 2 gas bottle tie down, so you can carry a maximum of 2 6-kilogram propane gas bottles on board the van at any point. So it's, like I said, maximum of 2 6-kilo bottles. So by that I mean each bottle has to be 6 kilos and no more. Down the side of the van, you have your water pump connection. So water pump pushes into the side of the van and locks into place, and your pump end drops down inside the aqua roll itself. Got a filter here and a dog shower connection if you ever decide to use one. Trim heating flue, there's normally a cover that goes on here, covers this up, so you'll need to remove this cover anytime you try to ignite the heating or hot water systems on gas. Also down the front here you have your leg winder to stabilise the caravan while the caravan is on site. So then we've got your battery box, so you've got your battery in the box here with your mains power lead coming into the side of the van. You've also got your motor mover power switch in there, which will demonstrate to you in person here on site. As I said, the move will be demonstrated here on site, so we'll ignore that for now, and also the wheel nuts will be torqued while you're here, so you can see they've been tightened to the correct manufacturer's settings. We've also then got the grey waste pipes coming out the side of the van, so you'll have 2 bits of grey pipe that will go into these large diameter holes on the outside here, and essentially the fresh water that goes in the front will come out the side of the van once it's been through the sinks and the shower through here. So that's not your toilet waste, I'll come to that in a moment. On the back of the van you have your 2 wind down legs to stabilise the caravan, as you can see, and they are just there for stabilising rather than lifting the caravan, as I said with the front ones. Then got your toilet flush tank. So this tank here takes 3.5 litres of water and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. And the bottom you have your toilet waste cassette. Van hasn't been cleaned yet, so I do apologise for that if anything's dirty still. Neck here turns out, and you've got a grey cap here to measure your fluids. And on the back of the cassette you've got an orange pressure relief button to release the pressure out of the cassette while you're tipping the waste away. The toilet waste cassette will take 1 litre of water and a cap full of the blue fluid prior to use. You've then got your 2 fridge vents. The 2 fridge vents here will allow the hot air out the back of the fridge unit. And behind one of those is also a gas flue for the gas system for the fridge. They'll take in some cool air as well to cool the back of the unit. We've then got your blown air vent, so essentially you can have hot air coming out to you into your awning if you wish to, when you've got the blown air heating on inside of the van. You then got your storage locker for the front of the van, which is a wet storage locker, your other wind down leg and your barbecue gas point just down here also. As you can see, barbecue gas point there with the fitment inside of there also, so you can connect your gas pipe work up. Going inside the van, this caravan is very simple to use. Above the door you've got your main control panel, so you've got your master power on, your internal lights, your water pump run, which I'll come back to in a moment, your voltmeter, which brings up the battery level just here, and then you've got your awning light on the end as well. So the awning light is the light on the outside of the van. To fill the water system up on board this van, you first of all going to need to come into the seat on the far right hand side. Underneath that seat there is 2 yellow drain down valves. Those 2 yellow valves need to be parallel with the floor to fill the water system. So as you see them at the moment, that means you'll be able to fill the system up. I've actually already filled the system on here, so I'll demonstrate how you do it as we go along. If them valves are upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat frame, then it'll actually drain all the water out of the system on board the van. So once you've got them valves parallel with the floor, you'll come over to every tap on board the caravan and open all the taps up on the hot side of the water heating, as you can see here. At that point, once you've got the water, all the taps open on the hot side, like I said, I've already filled the system. You'll then need to come over to your water pump switch, which again I've already got turned on. But essentially then you'll turn the water pump on, and you'll notice in a second the water pump becomes live. When it drops pressure, let me just turn the tap off so it registers it needs water. and then the water pump will start running the water through the system. Once the water system's full, you'll have water running continuously out of every tap on board the caravan. Just give me a second. I just need to go and connect the pump up again. You would normally leave the pump connected at all times, but just for demonstration I'd actually disconnected it just so we didn't drain all the water out of the barrel. So as you can see now, the water system's full. Oh. Sort that out in a second. When the water system's actually full, we'll have water running continuously out of every tap. Once you've got water running out of all the taps continuously, you can shut them all down and then start warming the water on board the caravan. Now there is two ways of doing this. You can either do it on gas, which we advise you use for boosting the water system, or 240 mains. It's down here on the floor. You'll notice you've got two controls. The bottom one here, it says Ultra Store on it, but you'll notice it says 230 down in the corner. Is actually for your electric water heating. Now you've got 35 degrees on the top switch here, and around 50 degrees on the bottom switch. It will depend on what site you're on to what power level you use that on. If you're on a 500 watt site, then you'll use the top one. If you're on a 1000 watt site, you'll use the bottom one. At the top, you've got your option to run the gas water heating. You'd also need to use this for boosting the water system on board the van while you're showering. So to get it to ignite on gas, you'll turn the switch on. The water heater will boost and click away until it ignites, which obviously it's not going to do at the moment because there's no gas bottle on board. But when it fails to ignite, you'll get a red light appear just here. And if it ignited, you get a green light on this side. You also got the option to run it on 70 degrees of water temperature if you have the gas connected. But like I said, I do advise that you use that as a boost for the water system when you are showering on board the caravan. So that's your water system. Bottom one being your electric, top being gas, and you've got a fail light on the left hand side and a green ignited light or pilot light on the right hand side when you are running it on the gas system. Next up, we'll take you to the heating system on board the van. So on this dial just here, just by the dinette area, you have a dial with an off position, 500, 1000 and 2000 down the side. Now what that relates to is the amount of power coming into the caravan from the caravan site you're on. So here on site we can run a maximum of 500 watts for each van. So I'm going to turn the dial to the 500 watt symbol, that's the grey dial on the outside here. Then I can control the temperature of the heater on the dial in the centre between 1 and 9. So essentially the dial here is your thermostat for the heating, a bit like you've got at home, or I assume you've got at home, or the older style controls for the heating system. Between 1 and 9, as I said. Once you've got that selected, the heating will kick in and start warming up the caravan. Obviously the higher amount of wattage you have going through the heating system, the more efficient the heating system will be. On top of the heater, you've got your option to run the gas heating. So you can spin the dial round to between 10 and 9, hold down the gas valve and hit the igniter. Now when it's fully ignited on gas, you'll have a pilot light in this window down the front. You'd continue to hold down the gas valve for a further 5 to 10 seconds. Once that pilot light is ignited, you'll then slowly release the gas valve. Keep an eye on the pilot light just to make sure it hasn't gone out. And as I said, on the outside of the caravan, you would need to remove that white cover before igniting the water system or the heater on gas. And once it's ignited fully, you can control the temperature of the heater on gas on the dial on top between 1 and 10. If you want to use your blown air heating, you can also do that. So the dot in the centre here indicates the heat is going to come out the front of the heater. The wave symbol on the left hand side will allow the continuous blown air to kick in, and that will come out the vents around the caravan, as you can see down the bottom there. And you can control the fan speed, a bit like in your car, on the dial on top. Dot in the centre, as I said, the heat will come out the front, and if you've got it on the A, on the right hand side, it'll be automatic blown air, so essentially it cuts in and out with the thermostat on board the caravan. So that's your heating system, water heating and heating for the caravan itself. Then behind me we've actually got the fridge. So you've got power on. Then at the moment, as you can see, we're connected to mains power. And on mains or gas, I can control the temperature of the heater, or the fridge, sorry, on the button on the right hand side. To change the power source you want to use, you've got the black button on the left hand side, which at the moment has gone over to 12 volt from the car you're towing with, so that's essentially your cool box mode for when you connect it to the car. And the blue light down the bottom here is flashing at the moment to indicate the fridge isn't working on 12 volt due to the fact we haven't got a car connected at the front of the van. The temperature control for the fridge when you're on the cool box mode is completely irrelevant. It won't actually work as a temperature control. If you want to operate the fridge on gas, you simply again hit the two buttons. Before you do try and ignite the fridge on gas, I would advise that you get the gas through to the hob by igniting the hob and getting it to run for a few seconds. And then you've got your gas operation there. If it fails to ignite, it will come up with a 9 and a spanner symbol just here, and it will also flash the blue light in the centre here to let you know it has failed to ignite. Control the temperature of the fridge on gas on the button on the right hand side again. Cooker, hob and grill all work very much the same as your household appliances, no difference at all there. Going into the bathroom, we have the toilet system, which has an electric flush on it at the top here. Toilet full indicator light to let you know when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat does turn for your convenience, so you can actually turn the toilet whichever way you want it to be. However, when you are removing the toilet cassette from underneath the van, you need to make sure the toilet seat is pointing straight across the van towards the cabinet on the other side. The reason being, it has two lockout tabs on the cassette that essentially, when your toilet seat is turned, will lock the cassette in place so you can't be pulled out of the van while the toilet is being used. Underneath the front of the toilet, you have the waste handle, which you can open up to allow the toilet waste to go into the cassette underneath the van. We do advise when you finish using the loo that you shut that back off, just so no smells come up inside the van. So this is the Coachman Olympia 524. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to call us here at the Caravan Company. We thank you for the business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect your caravan. Thank you for now, and bye bye.